not so many devotees and the leaders of the temple are not there. It's going to be more discussion. Okay. I can start by reciting some prayers. Amaganati mirandasya gananjana shirakeva Satsur militam minatasma Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhistam Stabitam Minavitane Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadapita Pavan Nam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namni Namaste Sarvati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunivadi Paskatade Shatarini Anchakalpatarubhyasya Kipasindhuvya Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. So yes, just some little introduction about Varnashrama Dharma. Most of you know quite well. And also some quotation about what Srila Prabhupada wrote about the topics in all his books, his lectures, his letters, in order to get some idea about what is Varnashrama Dharma, how it is useful, and how can we imbibe something at least in our own life, personally, and also for the yatra, for the country. So first, I can ask you, why are you coming today? In that presentation, what is your interest?
Because
yes,
can I say?
Yes, start.
I don't know. I see you see I'm wearing orange and I see white. I don't know what is my ashram or varna because I'm in confusion state.
Yes, this is a good point. And you?
First of all, I was invited, so I would like to hear more about Varnashrama. Because my conception was that Varnashrama is cows and farming, but looks like it's more diverse than cows and farming, so I want to know more.
For you?
I didn't make
It's mainly about farming.
No, I thought that Varnashrama means only cows.
Ah,
it looks like it's something even more, so I want to know more about
something more. Yes. And I think Prabhu, you come here because you are a special guest.
Our teachers in Sannyasa College said, don't involve in discussion about Varnashrama because it is very not so clear in our nowadays in ISKCON. I fixed in my ashrama, I follow Varnashrama because was I reason very clear, very strict, and I have no interest about myself, but I have interest. I know a lot of experience from different continents in ISKCON, and I want to hear your message, like in general. In general, because maybe something new in my book, and it is very important question, and I want to see your message.
Yeah, thank you. So it is different interest. So okay. So we all know that Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 4, he said Chaturama system. So Krishna created that system of Varna and Ashram. And Krishna is saying that he is created according to the guna, vara and us. Goodness, passion and ignorance. So in Bhagavad Gita, we can learn who started this system of Varnashram. In our modern world, Western world, we can present that Varnashrama Dharma is a Vedic sociology, to study about the society and the relationship between the people. No? So there is a department of study called sociology, no? That we study like that, and we study different culture, different, how people were living before. So before, of course, most of the people were living in a village, and in many countries, most of the people are still living in village. Village means agriculture, means animals, and in Vedic culture, especially the cow. And especially when we offer the food to Krishna, we said Namo Brahmanya Govindaya. So Krishna, he likes the cows and the Brahmana. Which one he likes most? Cows or Brahmana? It is the cows. No, it's sad, And if we say we want to develop, we want to go back to Godhead, for us is to try to go to Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka means the planet of the cows. So if we don't like the cows, we cannot go back to Goloka Vrindavan. And when Krishna came actually in the world 5,000 years ago, he came as a Vaishya. His parents, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, were the king, the queen of Vrindavan. And his main activity was Vaishya, means going morning time, going to take care of the calf when he was becoming older, the cow. What was the Varna of Krishna when he was in Dwarka?
Kshatriya?
Kshatriya, yes. So he had many wives, 16,108, and he was coming to his palace, and in the palace he was, certain timing, receiving some local people who can express something. So it was like, and in Mayapur, what Varna Krishna he has? In Mayapur, India.
Sannyasa?
Huh?
Sannyasi?
But it's not a Varna. Varna means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. No. Brahman. He came as a Brahman, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya.
Yeah. So he was mainly studying and teaching. So it's nice to know these three different activity places of Krishna, because we can learn the perfect Vaishya, perfect Kshatriya, perfect Brahmana. It's interesting to know. And in the Bhagavatam, we have a lot of detail about the Varnashrama Dharma. Since a few months I'm studying with a group of devotees, Canto 1, every chapter there are mentions about Varnashrama. And especially in Canto 7, chapter 11 to 15, it is Narada Muni, he is speaking with Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he explains what is sannyasi, what is grihastha, what is brahmachari, what is vanaprastha, what are the duty of men and duty of women. So actually the Bhagavatam, the 7th canto, it's really detailed, And also in Mahabharata. Actually in Mahabharata there is something is related to Varnashram, and maybe I can start with that. What are the three main things that we need in life to be satisfied and happy? We need three things, according to Bhishmadev. It is we need to have in the order cows, land, and knowledge. And these three things are very much related. how can we get knowledge? Do you think we can get knowledge only by books? We need more than books. We need to have the proper. This is why we need to take milk. You know, cow milk. Yes, yes. The Papa explained that we need to have more the brain tissue. Need to be more developed, more purified. And by milk, for the Krishna, we can purify. So here I bring two books. I'm going to mention these two books first. So, Srila Prabhupada, My Spiritual Lamentation, before leaving his body, he said that when devotee asked him, have you done all that you wanted in life? And Srila Prabhupada said yes. Master said no. I have one lamentation because I did not develop Varnashrama Dharma. And Srila Prabhupada said it was 50% of his mission. 50%. So it's not a joke, you know. And he had not. He mentioned many things about his book in his books, but he did not have the time to store. And when he came the last time in 77, Srila Prabhupada from Bombay was very, sick, and his disciple like Krishna Maharaj, Bhakti Yoga Maharaj, wanted to facilitate Srila Prabhupada's life, and they make the proposal that he leave India for the West. And Srila Prabhupada has done that. He came from Bombay to London, but his plan was to go to America, to Gitanagari farm. And he said he wanted to start Varnashrama Dharma. And devotee was asking, how are you going to start, Srila Prabhupada? He said, I'm going to go to the farm, I'm going to sit with the devotee in the farm, and we are going to start Varnashrama Dharma. So this indicates that it's possible to do. And Srila Prabhupada wanted to have the Varnashrama Dharma. And after his disappearance, some of his disciples, were making a very important service to collect what Srila Prabhupada said on the topics. And they make a book whose name is Speaking About Varnashram. I think in this temple this book must be there because last year we gave one book to the temple. And in this book it is what Srila Prabhupada said. So his books, lecture, discussion. For example, I can read some of the topics. First topic is about mutual respect in Varnashram. So, yes, there is a 4 Varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and 4 Ashrama. You know the Ashrama?
Brahmachari.
Brahmachari means celibate. Grihastha.
Yes.
After?
Vanaprastha.
After?
Sannyasi.
After? Yes, there are 4 and 4. So the Varna don't change. It means when we take birth, according to the mentality of our parents, when there is conception, when they conceive us, we have a Varna. The problem in Kali Yuga and the problem in many of us is it is mixed. And the problem when we are born as a Varnashrama, means if our parents did not do the Govardhan Samskara, problem, we are born mainly as outcasts. We take birth as a Shudra and we become lower than the Shudra. Chandala, Nitya. So it is why it is very difficult for many devotees to go from a low caste to pure bhakti. It's very difficult. So it is why Srila Prabhupada said many times, Varnashram is for human beings. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he said in one book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said we can be happy at 4 levels. In the body, the mind, the emotion, and the soul. And the 3 first, the body, mind, and emotion, are connected to our body, and Varna and Ashram. Some of us want to get married to have like emotional support. At least one friend in life. Actually, many people get married in ISKCON because they don't have any friends. It's a situation. And when we want to get married, we hope to have at least one friend. So these 3 are for it's Varnashram Dharma, happiness in body, mind, and emotion, heart, feeling. And bhakti is about the soul. So to want to find our place in Varnashram Dharma and in bhakti means we need to have a really to know where we are, where we want to go. So it is why these topics have not so much been discussed in ISKCON. When Srila Prabhupada left, in 1977, devotees were mainly focused on the other instruction of Srila Prabhupada. And there is one very interesting presentation of Srila Prabhupada before he created ISKCON. In 1949, he wrote a letter to Dr. Patel in India. 1949. And Srila Prabhupada explained 4 waves in one spiritual movement, 4 steps. And he developed that in a small essay called Gita Nagari. It's not the name of the farm. His essay, it was in 56. He developed these 4 things. So 1949 was before starting the League of Devotees. And 1956, Gita Nagari was before starting ISKCON. So before starting these 2 big movements, League of Devotees and ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada had a vision, about how to develop a spiritual movement in the world. And there are 4 steps. So I was thinking maybe tomorrow to speak. I'm supposed to give the class tomorrow, but I can mention that today, because tomorrow I don't know. He explained that in a spiritual movement, we need first to preach. Means Harinam and book distribution. We call it Sankirtan movement, Sankirtan step. So it is why the movement starting by that. Doing Harinam and doing book distribution. And still it is very, very important. And when we do Harinam and when we do book distribution, some people are interested. So we need temple. This is why we have a temple here. And after, when we have a temple, we need a deity. If we need deity, we need initiation. And we need people who are living in temple, like this fortunate soul here. But when we are preaching, having a temple, many people are interesting, but they don't live in temple. They are congregation. So this is the first step, congregation. Like that. If they live near the temple, it's very easy. They can come to Mangalarti every day. But most of the people don't live near the temple, very closely. And so the fourth step in that vision of Srila Prabhupada is to have a classless society. And the meaning of that, it is Varnashrama Dharma. So we see Varnashrama, there are some class and classless society. Why? Because the Varnashrama Dharma is to please Krishna. It is the soul who is pleasing Krishna, but with his body and mind and heart. So it means we are the soul, we have a body and mind. So we can use our body and our mind to please Krishna according to our material nature. This is the Varnashrama. But in ISKCON, for the moment, we are mainly focusing on the three first phases of Srila Prabhupada vision. Means Sankirtan, means book dissolution and Harinam, having temple, deity, and giving initiation and having a little about community, like Bhakti Vriksha, something around like that, community. But we have not so much developed about Varnashrama Dharma. And in the goal of ISKCON, the purposes of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada said, in the first purpose here, to propagate spiritual knowledge to everyone, to society at large, means the complete world. Not the complete world can live in Paris temple, right? But everybody can become Krishna consciousness gradually. So this is very important to know that. Do you have any argument or question or doubts about that? First?
About this thing?
Yes. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
I saw and heard the same thing, but a little bit from another viewpoint. 3 lines of preaching. First line, it is book distribution, Harinamas, fruitful life. It's our contact with people. After them, second line, we are inviting them for education.
Yes.
Because Prabhupada said about ISKCON in the 70s, our main idea, our society now is from Kanishta Adhikari, and it is not good, and we are too wide, and be possible to change society by education.
Yes.
It is second line. And third line, but it is education in groups. Usually, sometimes in groups, because of some seminars, some lessons, some discussions. Yes, and after them, third line is the devotee care. It is personal, involving in devotional service and Varnashrama, because activity, it is family, it is business, it is reality, it is life. It is first is preaching, first line, preaching, classical preaching, second is education, and third is devotee care. It is because sometimes we have temples in some places, but sometimes no temples. Yes, and I saw a lot of experience about if we have these 3 lines.
Yes.
It is very good because we have and community and Varnashrama and personal involving and community organizing like this. It's a little bit another viewpoint. Sorry.
Yeah, but it is the same. We can say same principle.
Yes, this is the same, but a little bit other, not focused to the temple, but for people. Because first time, some years ago, devotees have definition of the temple according to the number of brahmacharis inside. But after that change about congregational members outside. It's only some words. It's not debate. You're asking and I'm saying.
Yes. But this is very interesting that you bring the topics about devotee care. Because actually when we study like Srila Prabhupada's books, it's many things about rasa, about relationship. And if we want to develop a relationship with people, with devotee, we need to know how to start a relationship. And actually, we start a relationship by appreciation. If you don't appreciate someone, you are never going to do any seva or friendship with that person. Appreciation is the first, and in the rasa, shanta ras is the basis, and dasya is shanta plus service. Friendship is not dasya. Shanta is appreciation plus service plus friendship. So building like that till love. So, and personally, in my little experience and study about Varnashrama, especially meeting some devotees who have different projects about Varnashrama, it's mainly related to relationship, because it is like village life. In a village, for example, we have a temple or we have a church, in Christian country. After we have other people living around, we have people who are bringing food, we have people who are doing some activity like carpenter, like different things, We have person who is organizing the village, like a kshatriya. So this system is already done in the world, without the name of Varna. And we have people who are much celibate, married, or renounced. It's already in the system. Like I think all of you remember, when Srila Prabhupada came to Moscow, with Professor Kotowski, he was explaining, we have already the system, even in Russia at the time. It's supposed to be all like that, but the system is there. So but the system is based on having respect. It is Krishna system. We never need to forget. And this is respect. And this is part of our culture, is to respect every living entity. Of course, devotee, non-devotee, even ants, animals, we are supposed to respect everyone. So this is one aspect. I can say maybe a little thing about the other aspect, just to let us get some idea about which topic Srila Prabhupada discussed when he spoke about Varnashrama. He spoke about different duties for different type of people. Of course, This is why if we want to do, for example, Aarti, it's recommended that we have the initiated, even second initiation. If a person is a driver, it is good that the person knows how to drive. It's good. If someone wants to care about the cows, it is good that someone knows how to care about the cows. Srila Prabhupada was saying very often, very good to get all our necessities from the land. When I joined ISKCON, I joined in New Mayapur more than 40 years ago. So same place, 250 kilometers from Paris. But at that time, preaching was more, and Srila Prabhupada said that for the preacher, preaching, we are preaching in the town, they need to have good food and good milk, you know. And it is not easy to get good food, you know. Usually devotee go to the ordinary supermarket and it's not so good food and not so good milk, not fresh milk, you know. So there is possibility of when I was young devotee, it was like that, sending food to Paris devotee. Yes, and especially like you know, in Switzerland, you know, in Zurich temple, they wanted to have a farm for having good food and good milk. So they bought a farm in France. It was cheaper than in Switzerland, near Dole, you know. For some years it was like that, you know. So it's Srila Prabhupada mentioned sometimes also, for every preaching center in the city, we need to have some farm, you know, not too far. And a few days ago, it was the anniversary of the creation of ISKCON, you know, 58 years ago. And in Mayapur, they did a big program for the 7 purposes of ISKCON. One senior devotee was presenting one purpose. The first devotee was Bhakti Yoga Maharaj. Spoke about the first purpose, you know, propagation of the philosophy, you know, on the world for society at large. And the 6th purpose was spoken by Bhakti Raghava Maharaj. And after all these 7 purposes were done, all the devotees who spoke about one purpose, they were meeting. And Bhakti Yoga Maharaj was asking one question to Bhakti Raghava Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, you know, all our devotees are living in cities. And it's difficult for them to live in village, you know. And Bhakti Maharaj answered, he said, yes, but Srila Prabhupada wanted us to live in village. Prabhupada said, we need to live in village and preach in cities. Yes, and actually, maybe you know, but a country like France, there are many people who are doing like that. Living in, even myself, I live near New Mayapur, but there are some people living in Châteauroux, taking a train every day, coming to Paris, working and going back to their place. Many non-devotees are doing that. Many. So it's been why people prefer to live in village, because it is more fresh air, more peace of mind, better for the children, better for the food, better for the mind. Yesterday when I arrived here, you know, I said, my God, again we hear all this plane without stopping. You know? So it's in order to focus on Krishna, it is explained in Canto 1st, you know, Bhagavatam, we need to have a good atmosphere. So it's some ideas, you know. Srila Prabhupada, you know, spoke about Varnashrama is to save a troubled world. There is a lot of problem in this world, you know. Like I can, maybe, yes, I can take one thing that Srila Prabhupada said. Or maybe you can read, Prabhu. No. Yes. Or let me check. Oh, it is a big thing, so I need to. There is 8 pages. No, it is so I can make I can select something. No? Like that. Srila Prabhupada speaking. It is a conversation There are some devotees like Bhagavan, who is this person here in the Eiffel Tower. He was in charge of France, And it was a conversation with also Jagadish, who was not Sanyasi at the time. Pavan Krishna also was there. Srila Prabhupada said, the business of the politician will be to exploit the poor citizens, and they will be embarrassed and harassed so much. By one side, no sufficient rain, and therefore scarcity of food, and the other side, taxation by the government. In this way, the people will be so much harassed that they'll give up their home and go to the forest. Unless they take to Krishna consciousness, they will not be saved. The Varnashrama College has to be established immediately, everywhere. Wherever we have got our center, a Varnashrama College should be established to train 4 divisions, 1 class Brahmana, 1 class Kshatriya, 1 class Vaishya, and 1 class Shudra. But everyone will be elevated to the spiritual platform by the spiritual activities, which we have prescribed. There is no inconvenience, even for the Shudra. So, in a few places, Srila Prabhupada spoke about to establish Varnashrama College. Do you know what it is? It's a college, it's a school to train people according to their Varna and Ashram. In life, when we don't know something, what are we going to do? We ask someone who knows. Why we go to school? Want to learn something? So we are learning about how to write, how to count, how to read. And Srila Prabhupada wanted to have, he said, our center, yes. It was in yes, it was a long time ago. So this is a point, that Srila Prabhupada is very practical, So he mentioned in his books, in his conversation, the need to have Varnashrama College. So it's important. And not everybody can take sannyas. We all know that. Even in our history in ISKCON, we have seen some devotee taking prematurely sannyas, falling down. We have seen not so much, we can say, training to become a grihastha. Not so much training to become a vanaprastha. It's almost, maybe vanaprastha is quite, not, we don't know really what it is. No training. Yes, but it is important to understand that Srila Prabhupada was already having that vision before creating ISKCON. And in ISKCON he was, this conversation was in 1974, means 50 years ago. And actually, if we study a little the Minister of Education in ISKCON, started also in 1974. The Bhakti Institute, with a conversation of Bhakti Yoga Maharaj, the 30th in Srila Prabhupada, was mainly developing 1973, the life from life, the discussion, 94, was officially written later. So during that time, 73, 74, 75, Srila Prabhupada wanted to develop something. At least the Ministry of Education started. This is the only ministry during Srila Prabhupada time. and also Varnashrama, and also Bhakti Yoga Institute. And these are quite related actually, because it's Bhakti Yoga Institute is mainly to focus on scientists, theologians, philosophers, intellectuals. Varnashrama is for everyone, and education is for everyone. And this type of thing, if we, some of you after I can leave the book here for a few days, till I go back. There are a lot of information about the desire of Srila Prabhupada to establish Varnashrama. To grow our own food, of course, Very often, if we have a small ever garden, our own food is quite better than the food of other people. This is perfect. When we have a garden, when we grow food, we chant Hare Krishna, the food. We take out the things that are not good, you can say like that. We take at the right time, we offer to Krishna, and we take Prashadam, it is another test. And this is what they were doing in Vrindavan when Krishna came. All the Gopas, the Gopis, they were living for Krishna. They were loving Krishna. So they grow the food, they take care of the cows for pleasing Krishna. And this is the goal of Varnashrama, to please Krishna. Why so many devotees are not in good health? Why so many devotees are not stable in their, how can I say, feeling? Why so many devotees don't know what to do in life as occupation? Why in many temples we have devotees who are only in transit? They are here because they don't know where to go. Because the Varnashrama system is not developed. It's as simple as that. Why some leaders, they are convinced about Varnashrama. Some leaders are not convinced, and many leaders don't know, don't express themselves. So when we discuss about the holy name, everybody is okay. Holy name, the mantra is very important. And now we all can develop benefit purification. Right? There is no discussion among devotees. Holy name is, we all accept the holy name. We all accept the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Gita. We will accept the deity, form of Krishna, it's a form of the deity. We will accept the importance of Holidam, like Vrindavan and Ayati. We will accept the importance of the association of devotees. There is no discussion about that. But there is difficulty to accept the Varnashrama. And we are free. We can. It's individual.
Say repeat.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's very interesting. You said about devotees, main part of devotees situated outside of the main big cities. Yes, it is the same idea of what was in the middle of 19th in Europe. Idea was we need to have big community for all devotees outside of cities, with Radha Krishna in the center, with gurukuls and devotee of women and cows and old age devotees, and with preaching centers in some cities with rotation because staying is very bad. Yes, it is the same situation here in 19th. Yes, it's the same. It was interesting, but I heard about this. I saw and heard from the leaders and guru of ISKCON how we cannot say we have no Varnashrama in ISKCON because they are started to manifesting in our movement. In the beginning, we need to have Brahman and all things, deity worship and Srimad Bhagavatam and preaching, it is Brahmanical activities. And after Prabhupada established this, until maybe 2000, ISKCON is maintaining Brahmanical culture, and maybe at this time it started to be quite good, nice philosophy in the Bhagavatam class, nice understanding of books, a lot of courses, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Shastri, it is Brahmanical activity. And in this century, in the beginning of this century, our leaders, spiritual masters, GBC, started to establish next Varna, Kshatriyas. You said sometimes devotees are not happy. It is not high quality of Kshatriya. Kshatriyas. Kshatriyate, protection from the unhappiness. Yes. And Bhakti Yoga said, it said in the end of 19th, he said, now we have Brahmanical culture, enough level. And the biggest problem in the end of 19th, absence of enough level of Kshatriya culture. Yes. And now, Radha Parisisvara said the main idea is GBC College, because now we establishing in all society Kshatriya culture. Yes. And after that we will have, without good organization, nobody can be very happy in countryside, for example, because without Kshatriyas, Vaishya will not give donation, no organization. It is my vision. Yes. We have not absence of Varnashrama, but step by step. Yes. Brahmana culture, previous century, now we starting Kshatriya culture, and after that when we will have good Kshatriyas with organization and with very high level of standard of organization, relationships and some financial things side, all things. And we will have a lot of Kshatriya, Vaishya will come, because the number of Vaishya is very big. Yes, yes, it's my vision, according to strategy. We have Varnashrama, but only second Varna now, in process. It's I don't
work in progress.
Yes, work in progress. Yes, it is my vision, because if somebody said no Varnashrama, no, we have no, there is. I'm sorry. It's another point. Perpendicular.
Very good.
It's good, not finished. It's not finished. Yes. But we are in process. Progress.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, this is important, to see that what is the ideal, what we are, and what is the goal, and what are the different steps to go there, no? But also, because I think you joined also many years ago, no? So it means it doesn't. When I joined in France, when I get in touch with ISKCON in 1978, I met the only devotee who were living outside temple. It was a farm in Brittany, and they were very successful as a farmer. They were doing farming for 6 days and one day preaching in a city nearby, and then like that. Nowadays, most of the devotees, there are maybe 1 or 2% of the devotees living in temple, and the rest means the majority living outside temple. And most of the devotees who live outside temple are working without the association of devotees. So many people work for money. You need to have money for living. But actually, my also realization, understanding and realization of Varnashrama is to make people satisfied. Happiness, we all know, it is with Bhakti. Real happiness, only Sachinandan. But satisfaction. For example, we do a job not only for the money. We do to contribute to society. We know because it is a part of to run the society. And in exchange, we receive a salary for the Shudra. The other one, they receive donation. So this aspect to be satisfied in our Varna, it's very important. I'm going to say something which is not very Vedic, but my grandmother, she was living in a farm, and she was saying that holidays is for people who don't like their work. When you like our work, our service, we just go on. It's not tiring. But if we feel we are tired, it means there is some difficulty. So it means if we do something, for example, somebody is making business. So he likes to buy, he likes to sell. He's a boss. Sometimes good sell, sometimes not good sell. But he is a boss. This feeling of freedom is very important. Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Shudra cannot have a boss. They are the boss. So it means this type of feeling, taking risk, gives some taste in life. It is why even in non-devotee circle, some people, they really like to do business. Some people like to do politics. Some people like to do intellectual job in the non-devotee circle. And there is a risk. Sometimes not enough money, sometimes like that. But it is part of the thing. So if we maximum ourselves, we try to understand what is my Varna, what is majority. I can have, for example, work outside for someone else, and I can go to the temple once a week to do puja, to do brahminical work, to give class, to study. It's not incompatible. But there is always something which is specific, where we feel at ease. Feel at ease. Because our society now, ISKCON society is very big, and it's going to be bigger and bigger, probably. So we need to accommodate everyone. So maybe, of course, not the leader can know exactly what is the Varna of everyone, of course, but at least to encourage people to work according to their tendency. And when we speak about Varnashrama Dharma, like your first thinking was mainly about cows. But also, like in Dwarka, when Krishna was in Dwarka, it was a palace, they were also using Varnashrama Dharma. In the spiritual world, they always use Varnashrama Dharma. And when Krishna is coming with his friends, they always use. So it's not only limited in village, but in city, it's more difficult to organize. Because we need to own a city. And for Krishna, he was having a palace. In France, we have castle, but it's different. The city is more difficult. It can be done if we have some people having cities, organizing cities. But we see the city, we are very clean, no big building nowadays. Big city nowadays means big building. But in Vedic style, no. City means a lot of garden space. So it is one of the reasons why it is when we mention about Varnashrama to find the Varna, and after then to find the ashram. Is it easy to find which ashram to select? To stay brahmachari, to get married, to go to sannyas, is it easy for everyone? There is some time, some thinking, some evaluation, some introspection, some advice from other devotees, some training to be a sannyasi. Do we have a training to be a grihastha?
Yes, Russian is very intensive.
Yeah?
Yes. There is global coordinator and regional representatives and a lot of seminars.
Yes.
Yes. In any ashram, it's Varnashrama college, very kind of. And brahmachari training, and grihastha training, and vanaprastha training, and sannyasa training.
In which country?
It is in Russia.
Russia, yeah.
Yes, I hear it a lot.
Russia means there are some. Can say when we apply, especially Varnashrama college, training for every Varna, every ashram, simple,
Welcome.
and even if in ISKCON we are not ready and 100% to present purely each ashram, but at least to start and to present according to Srila Prabhupada book, according to also realization of senior devotee, this make a difference. Like that, if people want to know more about that, there is some place where some information, education can be given. So it's not utopic. This is why it is important when we discuss this type of thing to have international vision. In some countries, it's already developed. Some countries, not starting so much, as a Varnashrama college. So it is by discussion we can take the experience as a devotee in other countries. Yes, Varnashrama college.
Yes. Sometimes we can see very intensive activity in this way.
Yes.
Yes, some countries a little bit faster. Something I don't know in French. Where is college Varnashrama in French? In French, I don't know.
Not yet. Behind. Yes. But it is why actually these topics, it's not all topics. If we want to, for example, if we want to be a brahmachari, it's good to be trained. If we want to become, for example, a person who is working in handicraft, we need to be trained. So for the 4 Varna, we need to be trained. For the 4 Ashrama, we need to be trained. The 4 Varna, we have already one nature. So we can develop our nature. In an activity, it can be seva in a temple, it can be seva outside the temple, it can be a work, and using the profit of our work for Krishna consciousness, but according to our nature. Because we cannot do something for a long time with not our nature. Cannot do. When there is an emergency, if there is fire, for example, here, and if the deity are in danger, if there is a devotee here, even if he is not initiated, he's going to take the deity. This is emergency. And in our life, since our Krishna consciousness is mainly helping us to develop a Brahminical culture, means to be under the goodness, guna, you know, less passion, less ignorance, you know, more goodness. So we need to have a broader vision and to see things as they are in our own life and also in the life of other devotees. This is one, I think, key point, you know. Because satisfaction comes only when we have the goodness. And the passion and ignorance, there is no satisfaction. Passion, little bit, ignorance, no. But real satisfaction comes under goodness. And Krishna himself, you know, has started that system. You know. So, of course, it's different if we start a new project when there is nothing. We can bring some aspect in. When there is a project is already existing, it's more complicated, different situation. You know, but at least to get some ideas, you know, about yes, Vedic civilization is training, like you are saying, training. This is why we have the name of Das, means servant. Servant means we are going to train, to be trained. It's not by birth, of course, no Varnashrama, it's not a caste system. For one time you were saying, it is not because now we have the polluted Varnashrama Dharma, caste system, especially in India. It's not because we have a bad example that we need to reject Varnashrama. You have a bad example. When you have a bad example, and when we have the knowledge, we have the more clarity how to make the knowledge, to apply the knowledge. So now I can ask a question. Yes. How to know our Varna? Yes.
That's my question.
No, it is my question.
It's my question.
It is our question.
Yeah.
So we can ask it is our question to these two gentlemen.
Well, what is the question?
How to know our Varna?
What?
How to know our Varna?
Maybe we could discuss with senior devotees about their observations, what they think.
Yes, a good point to ask some devotee who know us and who have a broader vision, you know, to ask other people and other answer how to know our Varna.
Is it? Yes, there are two criteria of Varna. First, in general, to any people we are inviting to surrender to Srila Prabhupada and start to follow classical Bhakti Yoga process.
Yes.
And after 5 or 10 years, Krishna will manifest from the heart. Varna. Krishna said, Chaturanya message time, I am a creator of Varna and Ashrama, and Krishna will manifest in our heart.
Yes.
And we will say us, you have the desire to act like this, not like this.
Yes.
It is after 5 or 10 years.
Yes.
Staying in the temple, any brahmachari and brahmacharini have feeling, I like to do this.
Yes.
It's first. It is Krishna manifested from the heart. And second is for activity. It is in the middle of 90s, there is a statement, understanding of Varnashrama. What we can do easy and without tired,
Yes.
long time,
Yes.
to be happy, in very good volume of outreach,
Yes.
and other people are happy.
Yes.
Yes, it is criteria outside criteria.
Yes.
Yes, we need to use both.
Yes. Yes.
It's 95, maybe 95. I said you
Yes.
middle of 90s vision of ISKCON review.
It's been 30 years ago.
Yes.
30 years
Yes,
ago. Yes. and it's still valid.
Yes, the same. I'm hearing you because I need to do some upgrade. I
Yes.
want to do some upgrade, but it's the same.
Yes, yes. Same generation, this is the advantage.
Yes. It was European. It is a result of European Varnashrama Seminer.
Yeah.
I tell you.
This means we have some work has already been done.
Yes.
Some study has been done, research has been done, experience has been done.
Yes.
So we can say, we ask to as a person who know us well, who at least we have faith in them, we can see by our experience staying in the association of devotee, 2 years like that, it's developing by itself, which Varna we have, like that. And do you know some other way to find our Varna? More ways.
But you told that Varna can't be changed in the beginning of the lecture
Yes.
as we born, but
how can we discover our Varna? Or at least
astrology?
astrology is one way.
Yes, there is Varnashrama method. We are devotees. We need to establish the love relationships. It is atmosphere of Vrindavana, love and trust. And in this situation, any person inside in our community will free in activity, and we in any case said, good, very good, thank you. And we will have enthusiasm and freedom in creative, and after then, in some activity, we'll have extra results.
Yes, extraordinary.
After first it's sadhu sangha relationship, love relationships. After then bhajana kriya, and sometimes if we have no idea, it's better. And another devotee will ask, please do this, please do this. It is according to Varnashrama and Rupa Goswami. Sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya.
The other like that.
Yes.
So we can see that the great Acharya, Srila Prabhupada and the Acharya before, they already explain, but they, for example, like the point, to find our nature is according to the different relationships that we have in life.
I need to leave 15 minutes.
Yes,
I replace him.
Yes.
Because it's recorded. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Yes. So it means that we get a few ideas how to select our Varna, and when we know to some extent, slowly, what is our Varna, we get the satisfaction. And the devotee are also finding us, they also appreciate. So it means it's a question. This is why it's very important to try to go deeper in that with other people, especially devotee. Even non-devotee, they also make some. Suppose you want to work outside, in a big factory, they don't select anyone to be the assistant of the boss. We need to have some specific qualification, this principle is the same for devotee or not devotee, to develop our Varna according to our nature. And this, for some people, nature is that, some people others that. And we know that if we just, for aspiring devotee like, if we just connect our activity to Krishna, it's perfect. Because Krishna is the center. But it's an individual work. Or if, like before that devotee was reading, he was saying that if we develop in our community of devotee more about caring about devotee. So if we care about devotee, we are going, the senior devotee are going to help the junior devotee. You know? It's always like that in the world, you know? So this is one aspect, the Varna, and after, how to select the ashram. Next question.
I have few questions.
Ah yes, a few questions. Okay, go.
So as you said that you only asked the same question.
Yes.
Like as we born, we have certain qualities in nature. So our ancestors or forefathers, they do something, but the son doesn't have the same thing as we see, like Varna, as you see. Can I give an example also if you want?
Yes.
Like my forefather, like my grandfather, who worked as an Kshatriya, means like police or something.
Yes.
Example. Then my father works like a business.
Yes.
So maybe as a son, I don't have the same qualities. How can we
Yes.
distinguish?
Yes. This happens quite often. Huh? Because you know, when there is a big development of cities, people are moving, you know, and they took different jobs, you know. Sometimes they took the job they can. It's not a big choice sometimes, you know. So in a village society, people are not so much moving, you know. So and majority of the people in village are farmers, you know. In most of the village, it was like in France or India, it was in France like 70% of the people were living in village before. Now it's maybe 60, 50. In America, it's a little less. You know. It is because people are moving, you know. For living, they move to the city. But to be more happy, to have more money, to have a lot more sanctification, but they don't get that, you know. They don't get that. You know, if you go to any city like Paris, there are so many poor people. So many, you know, we go to Sachinandan door to door, you know, you go to some building, it's really, you know, not smelling good, people are, you know, fighting, you know, people are, it can be dangerous to go, door to door, like that. And now in the city, everybody is locking his door. In the village, it was not like that when I was young, you know. No, it's been why to lock the door? There is chief here, there is problem, why? So it's mean, this is one aspect. It's more difficult to find Varna because your father, your grandfather move place. Why are you in France?
Yeah.
Actually, why? I am the only French one here. You are my special guest. No. And when we move, and when we get married with a girl from the other country, it's another situation, different culture, different language, different food. Same Krishna, okay, but different thing, you know. So it is why it's more and more difficult to find, you know. But when we read Srila Prabhupada's biography, when he took birth, the parents made by a very good astrologer his chart, and everything was meant in the chart was true. You know. So it is why when the parents have some child, if they do that when the child is very small, few months ago, they can have some idea. Yes. When we are old, it's more difficult. You know? Yes. And because it is, if we are born as Varnashrama, means it's more difficult.
Yes.
And we see in the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 1, you know, Arjuna said, yes, a very good reason to follow Varnashrama, not to kill like that, you know. and he explains the importance of not to take birth in the Varnashrama family. But when we are taking birth in the Varnashrama means no Varna, means we cannot, it's more difficult, you know. But yes. You have another question?
Yeah, so many.
Yes, so many.
It's a big topic.
Big
It's
topic.
like ocean of
Rasa, of pleasure.
Like you said, as the most of our members, congregation members, they live outside. As we see,
Yes.
if we see in the ISKCON, there is no like farm communities or like this college as we are discussing before, Varnashrama college in the Paris.
It means yes, in Paris there is no.
So how can we develop that? Like
Yes. So it means it can be first interesting to discuss the topics first. These are the topics, you know, it's not ideal. Actually, if have you done something a few days ago here in Paris Temple about the 7 purposes of ISKCON? Have you done something?
I haven't heard about it. I think it's a good thing to do.
It's you know about ISKCON?
yes, I know.
You know ISKCON?
No, I meditate on when I do the Prabhupada Puja. I offer the item 7 times. I think about each.
Very good, very good. So you know there are 7 purposes of ISKCON, you know, and last means Monday, 29 July, it was the anniversary of the 58th anniversary of the creation of ISKCON by Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada, he wrote the 7 purposes of ISKCON. And every member is supposed to know. Suppose you want to join as one institution, you need to know what is the goal of that institution.
Yeah.
It can help. Eh?
Yeah.
So yes, many devotees are choosing not to know, to stay in ignorance. And it's when we want to stay in ignorance, it's difficult to go to knowledge. So there are 7 purposes, you know, I can share with you after, you know, if you want in English or in French also. You know? And there are 2 purposes. The first one and second is about propagation. Propagation, the knowledge of the Vedic knowledge to society at large, especially following Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The first 2. There is the 2 purposes about community. Number 3 is about to create a community spirit inside the member. And the 5th one is to create community, real place of living together. Like that, you know. One is about chanting holy name, you know, of course. One is about publishing books in order to follow that. And it's mean when we think about the purposes of ISKCON, okay, we are a preaching movement, okay? Preaching is the essence. But what are the basis? Books. It is good to distribute books, but it is good to know what is inside the books. And this book is a compilation of what Srila Prabhupada said about Varnashrama. It's only Srila Prabhupada speaking in his books, lecture, discussion, you know, classes like that, you know. So we see that when we study, for example, Bhagavad Gita, from beginning till end, we know the story, we know different story. But if we study thematic study, we can go more deeper, you know, about like the question about Varna and Ashram, how to select. So if we study what Srila Prabhupada said about that, we can have a better vision. Okay? So it is important to know, you know, for some course like ISKCON Disciple course, you know, like for a new person, it's it's important to help devotee to know what are the purposes of ISKCON. And now, if we want to become member of ISKCON, or if we think we are member of ISKCON, it is very important to apply, but to follow this principle. In these 7 principles, there is no mention about food for life. Sometimes devotees say, yes, it's important. Yes, but we need to follow the 7 purposes of ISKCON, and we can add something after, not replace.
Right.
Can you check 7 purposes of ISKCON?
Oh, sure.
Like that, like that. It can be good to read in English.
Yeah, I just purifies phrase them in my mind.
Yes,
So
yes.
Nice to find it.
But you can find, because it can be nice with a very good American accent to have the 7 purposes of ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness.
And this is from Jivu. Let's see here.
For the sound is okay? You speak loudly usually.
To systematically propagate spiritual knowledge to society at large and educate all people in the techniques of spiritual life in order to check the imbalance of values in life and to achieve real unity and peace in the world.
This is number 1. Number 2.
2, to propagate a consciousness of Krishna, God, as revealed in the great scriptures of India, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. 3, to bring the members of the society together with each other and nearer to Krishna, the prime entity, thus developing the idea within the members and humanity at large that each soul is part and parcel of the quality of Godhead Krishna. 4, to teach and encourage the Sankirtan movement, congregational chanting of the holy name of God as revealed in the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. 5, to erect for the members and for society at large a holy place of transcendental pastimes dedicated to the personality of Krishna. 6, to bring the members closer together for the purpose of teaching a simpler, natural way of life. And 7, with a view toward achieving the aforementioned principles, to publish and distribute periodicals, magazines, books, and other writings.
Yes.
Shri Prabhupada ki.
So number 6 is to help to arrange for simple life.
Yeah.
So if it is, how can we come closer to a simple life in our personal life and also the life of other devotee in the country? This automatically, help us to consider, where we can have a simple life. What are the qualities to have a simple life? How it is when Sri Prabhupada speaks about self-sufficiently. It's a nice word, but it's been this brings the topics about village, farm, agriculture, cows, automatically. And maybe you have seen, you are staying in France, you are staying in Paris. There is no old French devotee living here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Right to my left.
It's difficult to find one French devotee here.
Yeah.
So, if you go to New Manipur, there are about many devotees old like me, staying there. And why we moved to that place?
Because it's easier to have a simpler, natural way of life.
Yes, yes. When we are young, usually there is some passion there. Okay, we can go to ISKCON. We can. I remember when I was young, do Sankirtan. We are going to change the world. But when we become old, we just want to change ourselves.
That's a good line.
It's a practical realization, So we see when people become old, usually, if they can, they move to some place more peaceful, less anxiety, more in contact with nature. You know? When people, if you want to take a break, you go to the village. When people from the village want to take a break, they don't come to Paris. No. This is the nature, you know. And now this question, it means maybe we can discuss a little today about that, about the ashram, you know, how to select our ashram.
Yes.
How sometimes the leader, they said, don't get married. Because if you get married, you are not going to serve full time in temple. And if you get married with another lady in the temple, means we lose 2 people.
Yeah, right.
And so it's because Prabhu, we have nobody to do the Aarti, to cook. It's happened in some temple, no? So this is okay, emergency. But our life, of the life of a devotee, is very precious. We cannot use emergency for every situation. It's not possible. It's not in goodness. So we need to have a guidance from the goodness point of view. Want to get married, not yes or no, to stay brahmachari, to take sannyas. Everybody wants to do something, you know. Many people when they are young, 20, say, I'm going to take sannyas. I remember when they were like that, you know, Prabhupada said, yes, but you are not really. And, yes, I want to get married, yes, but we are not prepared. Married, divorce, you know. 50% of the devotees are divorced nowadays, you know. Like the normal non-devotee. It means it's a big topic, and it's I realize it can be good to read about that, to discuss about that, to see what are our motivation, you know, what do we feel if our next step, you know. Like Shanaka Pandit, he was saying, you know, he's a very wise person, Shanaka Pandit. He was saying, if you think to get married, get married.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, yeah.
Yes, if you think. If you don't think, you stay brahmachari. It's simple, you know. But if you think. And in our movement, you know, like devotees who are like my age, like 70, like that, 65, 70, right? If we don't make arrangement for ourselves, for our leaving the body, ISKCON is not going to make any arrangement for us. If you are a sannyasi or guru, ISKCON can care about you.
Right.
But if you are not like that, you're not going to have any arrangement. Yes. So it means that sometimes I know some devotees, they get married because they don't have any friend in ISKCON. And I know one devotee, he was 70, he was married, divorced from America, taking saffron cloth after. And after he told me that to be in saffron cloth when we are 60, 65, all our friends are grihasta, and sannyasi are traveling in different world, you know.
Right.
And he said, I did not want it to be alone, so I remarried.
That's interesting, huh?
Yes. It's also common sense, you know. So it is it is important to know these 4 ashram and to try to see where we are and what is the next step. And the goal of life is to become a pure devotee of Krishna. It's not to be a grihasta or sannyasi. No?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am not sure.
Yes, he said like that. Yes. But what is our level to apply that? At the spiritual level, we are not the body. So we have nothing to do with the Varna and Ashram.
Yes.
But since we have a material body, and since Krishna has created the four Varna and ashram, and he said it is for human being. So it's more easy to become a devotee when we are human being.
Yes.
If we stay animals, animal mentality, you know, this body we call Pashugnat, means animal with two legs.
Mm.
You know? And there are many animals who have two legs. Monkey are also same.
Mm.
You know? So it's like that. And when Krishna is coming, you know, from the spiritual world directly to Vrindavan, to Dwarka, to Mayapur, everybody follow the Varnashrama system.
Mm. Right.
Everybody follow. You know, in Vrindavan, Krishna is acting like a Vaishya. So he has one friend is Brahmin, Madhumangal, you know? But the other are Vaishya. So it's some indication that at least we need to take maybe more seriously. And it's very practical, because if we live in a place, for example in a temple, it's very rare to find a devotee who is going to live all his life in a temple in the West.
Mm.
I don't know anyone myself in France. Every time I come to Paris, there are new faces, and not French one.
Yeah.
You know? If you come to Paris and you don't speak English, you are lost here. You know? You know? You know, so it means that it is a moving transit, you know. People are in transit here for a few weeks, a few months, a few years, and after visa problem, all this type of thing. You know? So it's good to know, to study a little more deeper. What is our personal Varna? What is our ashram? Discussing with devotees who have some interest in that topics. Finding according to our action. You know, if we see all women like Mataji, Stella Brahmachari, if we say not all women as Mataji, better to get married. If this is the soul, this is the perfection. You know? Yeah? So some ideas. This is why I'm coming to Paris, you know, especially for that the Varnashrama system, but I will see what's happened tomorrow and the day after. You know? At least today to give some type of idea about general thing, definition for Varna, for Ashram, and if the devotee was mentioning that in some country like Russia, there are some Varnashram college. Like just to let you know, in a few weeks for Kartik in Mayapur, we are going to do a big program for 2 months about like a Varnashram college teaching every day different topics.
In New Mayapur?
No, Mayapur, India.
Yes, we done Mayapur.
Yes, yeah. Last year we did for one month for Kartik. And some topics about, you know, for Varna, I was presenting the topics about the position of ladies in Varnashram Dharma. And some other things. This year is going to be for 2 months. So it means something is happening. Something is happening. So it means if some person want to go deeper, they can discuss with devotees who are already having more experience, information, knowledge about this topic, and to increase, you know, the thing, and never to forget that when Srila Prabhupada came in this world, you know, he had only one lamentation, missing Varnashram. 50%. So sometimes I see the devotee. Yes, devotees are half happy. They are chanting Hare Krishna, taking prashadam, Haribol, okay. You know, but for the material point of view, Varna and Ashram, we are not so satisfied. Not so, you know, for all life, you know, having a vision for all life. What are you going to do when you are going to be 60? No idea. This means this is common. We don't know. You know? adventure or ignorance? How can we plan our life in order to be more and more satisfied and having a better seva for Krishna? Srila Prabhupada, he came from the spiritual world, he came and started that movement, and he introduced Hare Krishna mantra, introduced many, the temple, deity, initiation, sadhana. So he did 50%. He presented to all of us a bhakti, pure bhakti, in his books. Pure bhakti is there. Never mixed bhakti in that book. And he left 50%. He never. So actually it is these 50% who are missing. We are all, if we follow Srila Prabhupada, we can take that and help Srila Prabhupada's mission by contributing to the 50% who are missing. This is our seva. The pure name, we are chanting Hare Krishna, pure as we can, shooting books. We are inviting people to come here to the program. But if we add the 50% who are missing, it's going to be complete.
100%.
Yes. Suppose Srila Prabhupada said Varnashrama is only 5%. Okay, 50%. No, it's a lot, No. Suppose I say, okay, I invite you for a feast, and I give you 50% of the feast. And are you going to be satisfied? No. So it is the same thing, for us, So maybe we can stop here,
Yeah.
Because the feast is coming. Jai. Prabhupada ki jai.